Hey, I hope all is going well and you're having a beautiful, blessed day. Today is episode 488 of Encouragement Notes. And specifically today, I wanted to talk to you about being disabled and getting checked out at the doctor. So, my last episode was on the 7th of April, which was the day before my birthday. And on my birthday, I had a really bad day. I was experiencing really awful stomach pain. But I tried to power through and do everything that I wanted to do for my birthday. I went to the movies, kind of enjoyed the movie, was able to get through the movie, and then I went to dinner with my family and I barely ate. So I reluctantly did what my mom told me to do the next day and called urgent care. And urgent care told me from what I was experiencing to go in within the next 3 to 4 hours. And I reluctantly obliged because I do not like doctors. I will do anything to avoid going to the doctor. And so I went to the doctor and I got checked out. And they said what it was just a little bit of gastritis. Well, what they said first was gastritis, but then they did a urinalysis and I ended up having an infection. So those were my symptoms and those got checked out. But I have to bring attention to the height of the bed, the examination bed that was in this room. My urgent care and my primary doctor share an office building. So urgent care is on one side and my primary doctor is on the other side. And because I've been avoiding going to the doctor, I do not know what my doctor's office looks like as far as accessibility anymore. But the last time I was there were very, very low beds that were height adjustable by a button. And so I'm hoping that that is the case when I go back to the doctor for my next appointment, which is soon. But the height of the bed at urgent care was not adjustable and not accessible. I have no idea why people that create these things for medical offices automatically think that everybody that comes in contact with these things needs a high surface. That is not always the case. We are not only physically challenged by our disabilities and our bodies and what we can't do as far as transfers, but some of us are like short. So it's hard in that respect too. And when you're short and your legs are tight or you don't have the leg strength to step up onto a stool to get up onto these high beds, you lose out on the care that you could have gotten if you could have gotten on the bed. So basically what I had to do in my doctor's office was, one, I was so proud of myself that I advocated for a urinalysis, because without it, I would not have known that I had that infection and would have been sent home in pain, and it would have gotten worse from what it already was. And two, what my doctor had me do was slouch in my chair so he could feel my stomach to see what was going on or if there was anything going on. But if I hadn't advocated for the urinalysis, he would have said nothing was wrong and it probably was all in my head because of the fact that the thing that was wrong didn't affect, it was affecting my stomach as far as pain, but it wasn't something that was happening internally in my stomach. So all that to say is we need to write letters to our doctors, advocate for more accessible spaces. And right now, I will admit, you guys, that I am at the age where I need a mammogram. But I am so afraid of getting a mammogram, and not for the typical reasons that somebody would be afraid of getting a mammogram. I'm afraid of getting a mammogram because I do not have the physical stamina to stand that long anymore. And you have to have massive amounts of stamina, what they would call normal amounts of stamina, in order to stand up to get a mammogram. And I was talking to my mom about this, and I'm like, well, since I have a disability, can't they make an exception to do a breast ultrasound? And so my mom was saying that at her last mammogram, she asked the tech about that because she said that she had a daughter with a disability who was of age to start getting these tests done. And the tech said no because ultrasounds are only used if they find something and they need to detect it further. But it is not necessarily reliable on detecting beginnings of things. So we, as the disabled community and as a community as a whole, caregivers, parents, and patients, those of us who are frequent patients at doctors, and people with disabilities should be people that are frequent patients at doctors. But so much happens to us because there's a disconnect between what we physically need to take care of our bodies, and the accessibility that we need to get it. There is no accessibility in medical care. And there needs to be accessibility in medical care. And also, there needs to be a mindset from doctors that just because something seems normal to that doctor, it doesn't mean that it's normal to us. So people need to be trained on accessibility and listening skills when it comes to treating a person with a disability, because not everything is in your head and not everything is because of your disability. But if you can't get something checked out, then further down the line, you're in such bad luck and it could put your life in danger. So I'm making this podcast episode as a first attempt to get the message out there that accessibility needs to go hand in hand with treatment of people with disabilities. because people with disabilities, especially my disability, CP, we get older. If God is graceful to us, we get older. Gracious to us, we get older. And I want to get older and not have to worry about going to the doctor. I mean, I worried about going to the doctor as it is because of all the medical trauma that I've been through with surgeries and stuff, but I shouldn't have to worry about going to the doctor because it's not accessible. Or I shouldn't have to worry about getting a test that the doctor wants me to get because it's not accessible. So anyway, guys, that's my spiel for today. This is episode 488. And I love you guys. And thank you so much for listening to Encouragement Notes. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you keep listening, keep sharing, and if you have any recommendations on what to do and who to write in order to get these things off the ground, so to speak, and start advocating for proper accessibility in medical care, please let me know and please share your ideas because we really need to show people that people with disabilities do age and that that aging is not an invitation to physically lay down and die. We're not just gonna, say, oh, this is, there's nothing else that can be done. We need to fight for our health. And coming from me, that is really weird because I will tell you I'm the first person that will shy away from going to the doctor because I don't want to hear what might be wrong with me. And I will be blunt and say that I do have a list of questions for my doctor for the next time I go. So anyway, you guys, that's to keep this out there or to get this out there is that we need to